battle here. American League Championship Series. Altuve's going to watch this one fly, and there she goes. The former MVP is alive and well in this postseason. The Rose Arena into center field, and it is gone. His magical postseason continues. Zunino, first ball swinging, and it's through the shift for a base hit.
This is a long series. Keep putting up those good at-bats, and I like our chances.
The great teams find a way to win ball games, and that's what Tampa did.
It is a sunny Southern California afternoon on a Monday here in downtown San Diego. Beautiful day for a ball game. We're at Petco Park, the home of the American League Championship Series, and we're ready for Game 2. This 2020 ALCS on TBS is presented by Geico. 1 o'clock local start here for Game 2. The Houston Astros against the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays winning last night and lead this best-of-7 series 1-0. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from San Diego. Brian Anderson along with Ron Darling and Jeff Francoeur. We'll hear from Lauren Shahade in just a moment. Well, the Tampa Bay Rays showed off their terrific pitching staff last night for the second consecutive game. They won a 2-1 ball game, and now, Ronnie, they're up 1-0 in this series, and this pitching matchup is fascinating because you got former teammates Charlie Morton and Lance McCullers.
And Lance McCullers needs a big start. The one thing about McCullers that we'll be watching, in the ALDS he had a struggle against the Oakland A's, but one of the things that I like to see is that his command and velocity are up with his fastball, and that he incorporates that changeup against the left-handed hitters. And with Charlie Morton, he began his reputation as a big money pitcher with the Houston Astros in that 2017 postseason, and now it's even better with the Tampa Bay Rays. Hasn't lost, ERA under 2 in his last 7 appearances.
Morton will be making his second start this postseason for the Tampa Bay Rays. The Houston Astros had a terrific series against the Oakland Athletics, and they roughed up A's pitching. Now, can they bounce back? Last night, they ran into a buzzsaw in the Rays pitching staff.
Well, and guys, they gave themselves plenty of opportunities. They just could not get the big home run, the big double, something we saw out in L.A. from this team. But as Dusty Baker said, if you don't give yourself chances, you have no chance to win. So look for these guys with all the playoff experience they have to bounce back today and put up some runs.
Quick question for you, too. Does the 1 o'clock local start here in San Diego have an effect either way for either team?
Well, for Houston, 6 out of their 7 games have been day games. And Tampa, this is their first day game in California.
So, yes, advantage Houston today.
All right, we're looking forward to it. We're ready for Game 2. We'll hear from Lauren Shahade, and then we'll get you ready for first pitch. It's Game 2, ALCS on TBS. The Astros and the Rays, and it's coming your way next. I mean, this is a pretty good bubble right here. San Diego, California on a beautiful Monday, and we are ready for Game 2, making our way towards first pitch. Charlie Morton, Lance McCullers. There are so many ties between the Astros and the Rays, and Lauren Shahade, the guy on the mound for Tampa Bay, certainly has a connection with the Astros and going back even further.
Indeed, B.A. When Charlie got to the Pirates, the coaches called him in his office and told him to watch video of the best pitcher in the game at the time, the late, great Roy Halladay. Charlie was taken with how Roy's body and head circled around his center. And even to this day, Charlie will tinker with arm slide. No matter which pitch he throws, though, watch his core. It looks exactly the same coming at hitters. Channeling Roy's deception has really changed his career.
Well, and Ron, for Charlie Morton, his career changed as a member of the Houston Astros, taking a lot of that Roy Halladay influence. A little bit different pitcher now. He keeps threatening to retire, but he keeps having great success.
He's like Zelig. He's had so many different transformations, but you know what the bottom line is? Incredible talent. When you have incredible talent, you respond like Charlie Morton has.
Was on that Astros World Series championship team 2017. Check the Geico batting order that Charlie Morton will face. The Astros have George Springer back in the leadoff spot, Jose Altuve, then Michael Brantley. In the middle of the order for Dusty Baker, it's Alex Bregman, Kyle Tucker, and Carlos Correa. And the bottom 3, Yuli Gurriel. The only change in the lineup is Josh Reddick, who gets to start in right, and Martin Maldonado behind the plate for the Astros. And Frenchie, how about the defense for the Tampa Bay Rays behind Charlie Morton?
Well, the man with the biggest hit last night, Mike Zunino, gets the start today again behind the dish. Great work for him. Going around the infield, Wendell, third base today, Adames and Lau. And Ji-Man Choi gets a start at first today. And then going to the outfield, the DH last night, Rosarena in left, Kiermaier so good in center, and Margot to right.
Very fast outfield for the Tampa Bay Rays. John Tumpain will call the balls and strikes here this afternoon. Chris Conroy over at first base. Ted Barrett is the crew chief today. He's at second base. Tim Timmons at third. Outfield umpires is Lance Barksdale and Manny Gonzalez, who had the plate last night. All the pieces in place. First pitch of the ball game swung on and missed. George Springer trying to make some noise on that first offering from Charlie Morton, and away we go.
Morton has only allowed 1 home run in his last 6 postseason starts.
This feels like a day where the ball could fly here in San Diego. It is 87 degrees for first pitch. And I asked you guys about the 1 p.m. local start here. And Frenchie, you mentioned the Astros. They're used to this setting. And it's not so much the sun, the setting. It's the rhythm of the day, getting up and preparing for a game this early.
Well, the Astros have been getting up at 6:30 between testing to play at 1 o'clock out in L.A., so they're used to this time.
First time for the Rays to do this in the San Diego portion of this postseason. The Rays did have a couple of day games in their home park in the wild card series. Of course, that was in St. Pete and, of course, indoors. So we'll see if it has an effect on either team as Morton flips a breaking ball up there. Count evens at 2-2. Rays winning game 1, 2-1. The final score. They beat the Yankees 2-1 in game 5 of the division series. It is rare to win a 2-1 game in the postseason, especially back-to-back games when you score just 2 runs. Blake Snell, the starter, and he went 5 innings last night, and then a terrific bullpen took it the rest of the way for the Rays. Springer lines one into right center field, a base hit. And the Astros with a single to start this game 2.
But works the count back to 3-2, gets in his favor, and does a great job of getting a pitch out over the plate and driving it to where it's pitched.
I mean, being able to hit a line driver, even get that ball in the air, that ball was down and it was sinking from Charlie Morton. He wanted that in. Did his catcher Zunino, but the ball ended up drifting towards the outside corner, and that's why Springer was able to cover it.
Springer had a hit last night, was 1 for 5. Astros got off to a good start. Jose Altuve hit a first inning home run last night. They had a lot of opportunities to score, but they stranded 10, and it was just a much different story. And you know, after the game, Dusty Baker talking about, well, everything looked good on paper. The analytics would tell you there was good exit velocity. And Dusty quickly replied to us today, I'm not looking for exit speed. I'm looking for exit hits.
Which is so true.
They needed one big one that they could not get. There were some key defensive plays for the Rays last night, a couple of key double plays. But Altuve got them started, the Astros, with a first inning homer. And Altuve has homered in 3 consecutive games now in this postseason, going back into the series against Oakland. Morton deals and a called strike 3 right on the black. Altuve is rung up, and there is out number 1. The first out of the game for Morton is a strikeout, Ronnie.
With that arm slot of Morton, that ball will start outside and come back over the outside corner of the plate. Again, Zunino sitting more inside and had the reach across his body, but got the call from John Tumpain.
And as a hitter, you can, it's tough to do, but you're just going to have to find a way. You can't give up on that outside corner against a guy like Morton, because if he can start hitting that, it's going to be tough.
Good sign early for the Rays. The comeback sinker finds its home for Charlie Morton. And now here's Michael Brantley with one away. On the first pitch, he fouls it away. Boy, Morton's got good velocity on his fastball. He's a couple of ticks up in the playoffs than we saw in the regular season run.
Well, he was a little hurt in August. He took some time off, came back in September, didn't throw a lot of innings, and then he had all those days off between the end of the regular season and his first start against the Yankees. It's almost like he's been given a new life.
Had a shoulder strain in August. and missed a couple of weeks. Came back September 2nd. He's had a lot of injuries in his career. Had a shoulder injury in 2018. Had Tommy John surgery going back 5 years prior. Had a couple of hip surgeries. As Lauren mentioned, that connection with Roy Halladay, and here we are, the 10th anniversary of Doc Halliday's no-hitter in the postseason. And it really did change his career. It got him cleaned up mechanically. Ground ball through the shift. A base hit. Springer will turn and burn as he heads to third. And the throw comes in late. Michael Brantley with a single to right. And the Astros are in business in this first inning.
It gets an 0-2 pitch and is able to turn on it right down the middle to Michael Brantley, which is tough. And good job here by George Springer, pushing it the envelope early, getting to third.
Well, he knew with the shift that he is going to be racing Wendell to third base.
And our T-Mobile base cam brings him right into your living room as Springer goes first to third on the single. Now runners at the corners with one away for Alex Bregman. And right away the Astros give themselves an opportunity in this first inning. And Bregman hits a shot right at Adames for an out. A bullet to the shortstop.
If you're on the bench of the Astros right now, you're going, really? I mean, another bullet?
Last night, Kyle Tucker, this one absolutely squares it up. 106.8 coming right at him. Look, had to kind of get to the side to catch this
I'm
thing.
not getting in front of that.
Last night, the Astros had a couple of hard hit balls for outs. One of those from Kyle Tucker that turned into a key double play early in that game. And the same fate here for Bregman.
Remember, Kyle Tucker had a base hit later with a runner on second, but he hit it too hard. And the left fielder got it in quickly.
Hit it so hard the run couldn't score from second base. No chance. That's been the way it's gone for the Astros, who stranded 10 men on base yesterday. Tucker elevated in the lineup for this one as he hits in the 5 spot. Flip-flops with Correa with the right-handed Morton on the mound. Tucker had a great year for the Astros at the plate. Their most consistent hitter this year. In the middle of a lineup full of big names. And Tucker was their guy this season. Had a hit last night. Opposite field rocket that made it to the left fielder so fast they couldn't get a run in to tie the score.
Charlie Morton letting Tucker know a little bit of how he's going to face him this afternoon. 2 breaking balls to start this at bat.
Well, and after watching Tucker yesterday, the line drive up the middle going the other way, it's exactly what he wants to do. They're playing the shift, but Tucker wants to do exactly what he did yesterday.
1 ball 1 strike and a swing and a miss way out in front. The spinner from Charlie Morton. Tucker's hit in all 7 postseason games coming into today. That curveball gives a lot of hitters fits. It's not just the spin of the ball, Ron. It's the change of pace of it as well. It's about 15, 16 miles an hour off his fastball.
And it's also the 3/4 delivery that you don't see very often with that kind of spin.
Here's a 1-2. Tucker gets jammed. He fouls it away. There's a big gap to cover here, Frenchie, if you're a hitter, and look at it. I mean, almost 6 feet between the fastball and the curveball, and that's on average. I think his fastball is playing up a little bit in the playoffs.
Well, it is, and the thing for Charlie is he's got 2 fastballs. He can get the sink, but he also can elevate.
Yeah.
Not many guys can do that.
1-2 again, and a swing and a miss. Went back to the Uncle Charlie. Charlie Morton with the big curve, and the Astros strand 2 more in this first inning. That's been the theme so far. Rays are coming up. We head to the bottom of the second in game 2. And the slugger Austin Meadows getting ready to lead off. He and Brandon Lau at the top of the order with Randy Arozarena. Middle of the order, Ji-Man Choi, Manny Margot, Joey Wendell. Bottom 3, Willie Adames, Kevin Kiermaier, Mike Zunino, and the Geico batting order for Kevin Cash's Tampa Bay Rays. And Ron, it's Lance McCullers Jr. on the mound for Houston.
Only 27 years old, made his debut in 2015. His dad, Lance Sr. and Jr., both with the 41st pick in the draft. Jr. in 2012, Sr. in 1982.
Astros went with Framber Valdez yesterday. He pitched beautifully, 6 innings, 2 runs, and now McCullers gets a key Game 2 start as the Astros look for their first win in this series. Austin Meadows back in that leadoff spot. He's the designated hitter. That's a familiar spot for Kevin Cash to use his DHs in the leadoff spot. Meadows hit a key home run in Game 5 of the ALDS against the Yankees, a game tire. Right on the corner. McCullers gets ahead 1-2.
Good changeup. That's what we're looking for. Good changeup from McCullers Jr. this afternoon.
Martin Maldonado flipping the signs for him today. Here's a 1-2 pitch. We've seen Lance McCullers rely heavily upon his breaking stuff, his off speed. He is the pitcher. You might remember 2017 through 24 consecutive curveballs to get through an ALCS game, and that clinched the ALCS for the Astros against the Yankees in 2017, and it was McCullers and Charlie Morton, Frenchie, that were the combo that year.
They were the combo, and look, McCullers in the ALDS, the game he pitched, 48% curveballs for him. So you seeing him, I think, come out, try to establish a fastball, the good change round that you talked about. I think he's got to have a little bit of a different game plan to make that curve effective.
Yeah. Doesn't matter who Kevin Cash has been putting in the leadoff spot. Their slash lines 156 average, 250 on base, 344 slug.
Would like a little more production, but Meadows had a huge moment in Game 5 of that division series against the Yankees. Meadows has been injured, had an oblique injury, and they were not sure he was going to be able to make it back. He was not on the wild card roster, did make it back for the division series. A dangerous bat at the top of that order. Shift is on. Correa's over there, the shortstop, and he'll make the play, and that's how the day begins for Lance McCullers. How about the Astros defensively, Frenchie?
Well, the stalwart behind the dish, Martin Maldonado, with the Gold Glove back in 17, getting the start for McCullers. The usual defense you see: Bregman, Correa, Altuve, Yoli Gurriel at first base, and then the outfield today with Brantley DH and Tucker moves to left, Springer in center, and Josh Reddick, who we saw get the pinch hit last night, in right today.
Abundant sunshine and no clouds in the sky. Fly balls can be tough. Lau hits a bullet right back at McCullers. Nice play. McCullers a very good athlete and makes an excellent play on a hot shot, and Lau is retired on the first pitch. 2 men are out in the first.
Well, fielding your position key. We saw Framber Valdez with some good plays and some lucky plays at the mound, but a good position there from McCullers as he makes the soft toss. His entire career, he's always handled left-handed hitters. .214 for his career. This year, they're batting .190.
And so McCullers with 2 up, 2 down, facing Randy Arozarena. Arozarena has been the star for the Rays this postseason. Homered last night. He's got 4 in the postseason, and he's on the first pitch, and a base hit to left field. Lightning quick hands. Arozarena just keeps it going. He has been fun to watch. I mean, he is not letting anything left in that swing. Every swing is max effort, hitting rockets everywhere.
That will be the last fastball he sees this afternoon.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And look, I think it's a good thing. Nobody's on right now. Show him that fastball. Yeah. But if there's a guy on coming up, you're going to see a steady diet of those curveballs.
Yeah, good point. He hit a fastball out last night. That tied the game at 1 apiece. Astros had the early lead. Arozarena got a fastball from Valdez and knocked it over the fence in center. So here's Ji-Man Choi now. Did not play yesterday. He's their regular first baseman against right-handed starting pitching. And Choi takes a strike. The fun-loving Ji-Man Choi. He was the centerpiece of the Rays' celebration after they closed out the Yankees.
Yeah, he's one of my new favorite players.
Yes, he was.
Sitting there smoking a cigar. Had a big old time. Good for him.
The dance competition's going.
Yep.
The Rays really enjoyed themselves after that hard-fought series win in 5 games.
G-Man Choi danced?
Oh, there's always a G-Man Choi dance.
Oh, I didn't
Yes.
know that.
Not fit for social media, however.
That's saying something.
Astros were a little more subdued after their series victory against the Oakland Athletics. I mean, you know, talking to Dusty Baker, these guys have grand plans. They feel like they have been us against the world, has been their mentality this year. After a sign stealing scandal kind of put a cloud over their ball club. But they're trying to create a new path for themselves this season. And a team that was under 500 going into the postseason. They had a second place finish in the AL West to earn a spot in the playoffs. Top 2 teams in each division made it automatically. And despite the Astros going 29-31, something clicked when they got to playoff baseball. All that experience with these players, all those games in big moments. They swept the Twins, and then 1-4 against the Oakland A's just up the road in LA. Rosarena takes off. Out in the grass, Altuve. And Choi. Safe. Oh, no, I beg your pardon. He's going to be safe here.
Brian Altuve just lobbed it over to first base. He one-hopped it to Gurriel. Gurriel could not make the play.
Ball popped out. Yeah, right there. Yeah. I missed it in the shadow. I beg your pardon. I thought it was a routine out, but it popped out, and everybody's safe here.
It was a routine out.
And it didn't look like he stretched as far as he possibly could. And that's where you start to wonder, guys, offensively for him, does it creep into your defense? Because this is a guy who's as good as there is in the American League at first base.
Remember, Correa had an unforced error last night also.
Right. That's going to be an E3. It was a short hop, but certainly a play you got to make as a first baseman. So now an opportunity here for the Rays. The 2 on. First ball swinging. Margot fouls it away. Altuve just kind of lightly tosses over to first, and
but you also
pick it.
And you see where his arm is, though. If that arm is stretched all the way out, watch this. I know it was a lob throw. Don't get me wrong. But watch right here. You see how his arm's back. If he just stretches that arm out.
Sometimes the lob throws are the hardest ones to hit because they don't stick in the leather.
Yeah, right, good call. No balls and a strike on Manuel Margot, former Padre, playing for the Rays, and he sends one to center field. Hit well on the run. Springer, he's at the track, and this ball is going to be gone. Manuel Margot, a 3-run shot in the first inning. The Rays strike first. Margot with his 3rd postseason home run. Taking advantage of the Astros miscue.
There's that curveball. This one stayed up in the zone. And Margot, who's getting a nice little power stretch here, dead center. And that's how you win series. You take advantage of the other team's mistakes.
You cannot give good teams extra outs. It's simple as that. You can see the reaction from McCullers. He can't believe that ball carried out of here.
The ball is flying today. There is no doubt. For the Astros, this would feel exactly like those games at Dodger Stadium against the A's. Margot's hit 3 homers in 20 postseason at-bats. Had just 1 home run throughout the regular season in 145 at-bats, but he's found that home run stroke. 3-0 after the error. And Joey Wendell now with 2 away. By the way, they just announced they changed the error from Gurriel to Altuve. Again, both can take the blame, and any good first baseman will tell you he's got to pick that if you're Yuli Gurriel. But officially, the error belongs to Altuve on an E4. 2-1 to Wendell as he takes a ball. 3-1 the count. Well, now we'll see the poise of Lance McCullers here. Should have been out of an inning, giving up a 3-run home run instead. Every button, every player Kevin Cash has called on has delivered in one way or another in this postseason. Wendell beats one into the ground. Nice easy hop for Bregman, and he does make the play to end the inning. Well, looked like it was going to end in a rather benign way. Instead, an error opens the door, and Manuel Margot sends one out to dead central. 3-0 Tampa Bay after one.
Take a quick look here at the huge error in the bottom of the first inning. Altuve, short hops, Gurriel, and then you see the frustration, guys, coming in. Chance to be out of the inning now, down 3-0.
Manuel Margot hits a 3-run homer right after. So Charlie Morton staked to a lead. Margot's third homer of this postseason. And now Charlie Morton back to work. Deals strike one to Carlos Correa. And he lines one, caught by Adames. Another line drive out. Correa's reaction there showing a little frustration, as if to say, what do I got to do here? Line drive out for out number one of this second inning.
Full extension. Third ball hit hard by the Astros. Second one right at Adames.
Carlos Correa like, come on, man. Here's Willie Gurriel now. And that play by Gurriel, again, the error goes to Altuve, but certainly one that he would tell you he should have made on the pick. And then when you add that to the frustrations he's had offensively, I mean, this is starting to turn into a bit of a nightmare postseason for Gurriel. And in this game, the harder you try, the harder this game can be. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a little flare that is gonna fall fair. And Gurriel with a base hit. Yeah, that's what he needed.
And guys, that's his only second hit on a fastball this postseason. He was 1 for 18. He's seen over 70% fastball. So for him, maybe finally selling out and knowing it's coming. Not hit hard, but finally finds a hole.
They say they always even out, Ron.
They don't even out, but I do know this. After you've made a mistake in the field, you are at your best, and next time you take an at bat because you're trying to make up for it.
So it's a 1-out single. Gurriel with his first hit of the series, did walk a couple of times yesterday, and it'll be Josh Reddick. Had a pinch hit appearance yesterday, had a base hit. And Morton starts him with a fastball strike.
And guys, that's something different from Morton this year. We're not used to seeing. You're seeing the righties squared up, couple hits, kind of reverse splits this year. Righties hitting 304 off Morton, where lefties are hitting 242. So you're seeing it here. The righties get some good swings early, Ronnie.
You know, when you get as an older pitcher, you've gone through a gauntlet where the lineups you usually face are mostly left-handed hitters, and you start to over time become better against left-handed hitters than you do against righties.
Astros would love to get some production out of the bottom of their order. Most of the activity last night came from the top half, and thus you see a lot of the innings that ended in the bottom of the half. The rallies went to die in the bottom half of the order. Really from Correa down yesterday, the last 4 spots in the order with just a couple of hits. One of those an infield hit, and the pinch hit by Reddick, who entered into the 9 spot in the order last night.
Morton's faced 8 hitters, 7 first pitch strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Shift is on. 3 infielders on the right, and Reddick fouls it away.
Which has kind of been the opposite BA story for the Rays, where they're 8 and 9 bottom of the lineup. Huge production this playoff.
Yeah, 12 RBIs out of that 8th and 9th slot.
Typically Kiermaier and the catcher spot. Zunino was in the spotlight last night. He drove in the game-winning run. Kiermaier had 2 hits, 2 doubles. 1-2 the count. Josh Reddick playing his 69th career playoff game. Jeff, you made the point yesterday, all this experience the Astros have, there's nothing they haven't seen in the postseason. They've come back from deficits in series and in individual games. They never had the first lead in the series against Oakland. They were able to erase a lot of early deficits in games in the division series.
Well, and they were down all 4 games, as you said, early, BA, but what they did was they struck back with 3 runs, 2 5-run innings out in LA. So we're able to really kind of bat around. And look, the error hurt them early, but this is an offense that we've seen. Still 3 hits today. He's hit, what, 2 more hard besides that have been caught?
One ball, 2 strikes. Only Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols among active players have more career playoff games than Reddick. And see his numbers against Charlie Morton.
You know, in his career, Charlie Morton has got ground ball outs. 54% of his outs are ground balls, but this year it dropped to a career low 41%. So he was always good for maybe a double play or 2 within a game. Not as much this year.
Pitch number 8 of the at bat. And that's a broken bat pop up in the infield. Zunino's out there and makes the play for the out. That may look like a so-so ho-hum type play, but with the shift on, Zunino's first reaction was, I got to get out there and make this play. There's nobody there.
It's the shift. It's the sun. It's the bright sky. It's catching it in that fashion where he's catching it over his head. All of those things make it difficult.
You know, you always tell pitchers to get out of the way, but maybe not the worst idea for Morton next time to take that ball.
Right.
Wait a minute. We can't have pitchers
making plays, being athletes.
Not athletes.
Best athletes on the field. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
So 2 men are out. And here is Martin Maldonado, longtime battery mate of Charlie Morton. Always wondered about catchers, battery mates. Now they're opposing hitters for a pitcher. Does it help? Does it hurt? You kind of know what he wants to do, but also sometimes too much information can be a detriment.
Well, for Maldonado, it helps. 7 for 13 in his career, so he has a good scouting report on what Charlie Morton's trying to do to him.
Swing and a miss. That's one of the reasons right there that the ground ball numbers are down a tick for Charlie Morton. He is using the high fastball a lot more often, and that really started as an Astro as well.
He is, and also the attitude and way of hitting of hitters today. It's evolved to the point where no one's trying to hit a ground ball anymore.
And the evolution of the strike zone as well. High strikes being called. There aren't many strikes down there at the bottom half. That's a little quick release there by Morton. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Man, you saw Maldonado's numbers. You got to give a little love. The only better than that are good Jimmy Rollins back in the studio.
Oh, is that right? Against Charlie Morton.
Yep.
They had to mention that at least once.
No wonder Jimmy was in such a good mood today. It's Charlie Morton day. That's a hard hit ball left field line. That's down, a base hit, and it's going to 1-hop out for a ground rule double. And Maldonado gets him again on 2 strikes. A double down the left field line. And it'll be 2nd and 3rd for the Astros here with 2 away. Hit that ball sharply.
Breaking ball from Charlie Morton, just hanging in the inside part of the zone. Tattooed here by Maldonado. And another bad break for the Astros. If you think about it, if that kind of waffles around and bangs around in that left field corner, maybe Gurriel can score.
Maldonado with his first hit of this ALCS. And again, the Astros putting pressure on. They had 2 on last inning. 2nd and 3rd, top of the order. Here is Springer. A fastball inside corner. This is where the bottom of the order, when you guys talk about the numbers and the lack of hitting from the bottom of the order, it really pays off for the Astros if their bottom of the order can swing the bats because of the damage bats they have at the top of their order in Springer and Altuve, Bradley, Bregman. And now the bottom of the order has set up their top half, albeit with 2 outs.
Brian, in the postseason with the Rays, Charlie Morton's never given up a hit with runners in scoring position. They're 0 for 12.
Making his 4th start. In the air, slicing. Over is Margot, fighting the sun. Margot! Oh, and he crashes over the wall, and he's got the ball in his glove. It's an out.
Wow.
What a play by Manny Margot. Oh, man. We were all waiting to see him stand up. That is a deep fall right there. It's not just on the level of the playing surface. That's about a 6-foot drop on the other side of that fence. Man, what a play. Hit a 3-run bomb and come up with the defensive gem of the day so far.
Can you be the player of the game in the 2nd inning?
Good call. Padre, that was some catch by Manny Margot.
Well, you see him fighting not only the sun to go over there, and BA, you said it, it's a deep drop off. It's not one of those things, and you can see he catches it, sells out, but right here at the end, look, when he flips over, as you said, it goes down, and boy, you can really see his legs, knee hit the thing. What a play.
Yeah, that was something. And first ball swinging, Adames pop up. Correa's out in the grass in left field, and he's got it for the out. Adames trying to pounce on that first pitch, out number 1 of the 2nd inning. And I'm with you, Ron Darling. That, you know, we've played a couple innings here, and a 3-run homer and a catch like that. Yeah, Brett Anderson agreed.
There you go, Brett.
That is the first 2 innings you dream about. Not only driving in runs with a home run ball, but preventing runs from scoring as well.
And because of that home run from Margot, it puts McCullers in a tough spot, and that is he almost has to be perfect from now on to let his team try to come back into this game.
Gavin Kiermaier takes a strike. Kiermaier wave and a miss out in front, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes on the change.
He's got a good changeup. He's got his good stuff today.
Kiermaier 0 for 5 career against McCullers, and down he goes. Boy, put him away on 3 pitches. 2 men are out. We send it down to Lauren Shahadi. What do you have, Lauren?
Well, I asked Lance how he felt today. He seemed relieved, said so ready. He said there was a time after Tommy John surgery where I couldn't even feel my fingers, and it was scary. He said he's had the benefit of learning from veterans like Morton and Dallas Keuchel and Verlander, but feels more of a leader on this team than ever before.
Yeah, I think he's pitched fantastic today, but you know, he's made one mistake, that hanging curveball to Margot, and unfortunately with the error before, it's cost him.
Here's Mike Zunino, and he's hit by a pitch. Off-speed pitch, it got away. McCullers hits Mike Zunino. 2-out base runner for the Rays.
Rare time when maybe the ball took the brunt of this hit. Zunino's a big man.
And throw the ball out.
That's right.
He might not even know he just got hit.
That's like hitting a fridge.
And McCullers just let that one get away. And he'll face the top of the order now with a man on, and Austin Meadows. 3-0 Tampa Bay on a Manuel Margot 3-run homer, and then a brilliant catch to end the Astros 2nd inning. Timing of that play as well. I mean, if that happens with 1 away, it's going to be a run in. It falls into the stands like he did and unable to maintain control. A couple of runs would have scored if it was 2nd and 3rd in that scenario that it was. But because it was the last out, you catch it, you go out of play. No runs in, inning over on that foul ball. Springer was begging for that foul ball to keep drifting into the seats. Meadows, a swing and a miss. If that happens with 1 out, it would have been a certain run. He would have tagged at 3rd. That's kind of the way it's going right now for the Houston Astros. And the Rays are making plays, taking advantage of mistakes. Swing and a miss. McCullers with a couple of strikeouts in the second inning. Manuel Margot back in the outfield. He was in the clubhouse training area out of our sight last half inning as the Rays were at the plate. And he is back in right after that great catch and his 3-run home run. Here we go to the Astros third inning. It is 3-0 Tampa Bay. Charlie Morton back to work. Altuve leads off. And he takes strike one. Altuve 2 for 5 yesterday, including that first inning homer. Morton struck him out looking in the first inning. Got him on a comeback sinker right on the outside corner. Astros already with 4 hits, but they've stranded 4 in the first 2 innings. They've left 14 on in the first game in 2 innings of this ALCS. Two balls and a strike. 2-2 now.
Good pitch to get back in that count. A little cutter from Charlie Morton. He gets that great movement because if you look at the rubber, he pitches from the first base side of the rubber, but where he lands is right down the middle of the rubber. So he kind of throws across his body. People in baseball call it crossfire. And that's how he gets that good movement down and in.
And a good cutter there to Altuve. Mostly he's fastball, curveball, but mixes in enough to keep you honest.
See what he has in mind. 2-2. Big spinner from Morton, just missed. Charlie lives in St. Petersburg area. Signed a 2-year deal with the Rays after contemplating retirement. He's in the second year of that deal. First 3-ball count for Morton, and Altuve back up the middle, base hit. Astros keep the pressure on. That is their 5th hit of the ball game already. Leadoff man in the third as we check in with Lauren Shahadi.
Oh, Brian, yesterday in the Astros dugout, they had a jersey of third base coach Gary Pettis hanging. Gary diagnosed with multiple myeloma last month, very much on their minds. I spoke with Dusty Baker today. He told me we miss him, and he's with us.
He's been out. They missed that windmill, sending runners home. Maybe that's the missing piece here for the Astros. And they had a moment of silence before the game as well for Joe Morgan. We got the news that he passed away. Joe and Gary went to the same high school, Castlemont High School in Oakland. And so the Astros have Gary on their mind, and another legend lost in Major League Baseball with the passing of Joe Morgan, who has Astros ties. First with the Colt 45s, and then the Houston Astros. Had a 9-year career in Houston before he went to the Reds. Had a rough go of it in Major League Baseball with the loss of legends. The 6th Hall of Famer to pass away in 2020, and the 5th Hall of Famer to pass in the last 5 weeks. Joe Morgan, Whitey Ford, Bob Gibson, Lou Brock, Tom Seaver, Al Kaline. I mean, just giants of the game. Dusty Baker very close to Joe Morgan. Said they spoke often, every couple of weeks. And he got the news today and devastated at the news that his buddy had passed away. 2 balls and a strike. Bradley fouls it back. And as a teenager with the Colt 45s in Houston before they moved into the Astrodome. Moved into the Astrodome in '65, became the Astros at that point. He was a star with Houston. He became a legend with the Cincinnati Reds, of course. Twice an MVP with the Reds and the Big Red Machine. Great broadcaster. And heavy hearts today all across the game hearing that news. That is a called strike 3. Brantley is rung up. Charlie Morton picks up the strikeout, his third. It's out number 1 of this third inning.
Good backdoor breaking ball by Charlie Morton. First one he's really thrown. Gets the call there from John Tumpane. You can see that arm angle, real 3/4, almost kind of sidearm, but he's still able to get great spin on top of that pitch.
And Michael Brantley not liking the call. A guy who very disciplined hitter, thinks the ball was off the plate, and as you said, Ron, he might have got a call there.
1 away. Altuve at first, and Bregman takes a ball. Bregman hit a rocket in the first inning with 2 on and 1 out. It was right at the shortstop, Adames. A line drive out. About as hard as you can hit one. Rays are set up for a double play here. On the ground, Adames backhands it. Oh, across the diamond he goes, and a pick by Choi. That was something special by Adames. Altuve got a great break off the bag. Adames put himself in a position to make a throw to second, but a heck of a play to get Bregman at first.
It's like he couldn't find a handle first, so that's why he went to first base instead and just gets Bregman.
Great job by Choi. The G-man stretching out.
He handles that short hop.
And guys, another opportunity though with the Astros runner in scoring position. You look, we're in the 12th inning for them this series. They've already got 14 hits, couple extra base hits, 1 run.
Excellent play by Adames. The quickness really showed there as he pounced on that one. So 2 outs, runner at second now for the Astros. Here is Kyle Tucker. Both of these teams were excellent defensively, especially infield defense this year.
First time up, a lot of breaking balls from Morton to Tucker. Let's see if he makes an adjustment.
A ball and no strikes. A swing and a miss. Tied him up with a fastball.
Tucker's been good in these spots during the postseason. 2 outs, runner score position, 3 for 5, but left 2 on in the first inning.
That was a strikeout. Morton ended the inning in that first inning with a K of Tucker. Here's a 1-1 and a swing and a miss. He's found a hole with that fastball. It's got so much life and movement to it, and it's 95, 96 miles an hour today.
Well, this is the cat and mouse game that happens between pitchers and hitters. Is that steady diet of breaking balls his first time up, and then he surprised him with 2 fastballs there.
Veteran pitcher, young hitter, and exactly what you said, a guy who's all of a sudden looking for off speed and sees 3 heaters.
Well, we'll see what he gives him right here. Astros got a leadoff single from Altuve. He's now at second. The 1-2 pitch. Went to the hook that time. Shift is on. The 3 infielders on the right side.
It changed, of course, once they got ahead of the hitter, the Tampa Bay Rays. They made it more exaggerated shift.
Lau has a good arm. He's out in the grass at second base. Morton deals, and he missed with a fastball. Kind of tugged that one a little bit.
Astros definitely making Charlie Morton work, though. This will be his 57th pitch coming up.
Similar story yesterday with Blake Snell. Over 100 pitches in 5 innings. A lot of deep counts. 2 outs, 2-2 pitch. And now it's full. Carlos Correa due next.
Come with that back foot hook right here, Ron. Are you trying to beat him with the heater?
I don't know if I'd try to beat him with the heater one more time. I think the hook that ended the last at bat would be the same pitch I would throw. But you don't want to walk him and have to face Correa.
20th pitch of the inning, and timeout was asked for and granted by home plate umpire John Tumpain.
Kind of.
Yeah, he went to a knee and basically hiding behind
Don't throw.
Zunino.
Not my fault. I think it was Zunino who wanted the time. Yeah, Zunino wanted to start over. Like, I'm all right. I'm going to stand right behind this mass of a man. And we'll reset it. Multiple signs. Runner on second at Altuve. And Charlie Morton, I think, again, wants to start over. And now Zunino wisely on his up and just stops in the dirt circle. Those are mound visits, so that doesn't count as a mound visit.
I think they just weren't on the same page on what sign they were using. Sequence. Now they are.
If Greinke was out there, he could just tell him.
That's right.
Here it comes.
All right, after all that, they've got the one they want. 3 balls, 2 strikes. In the air, center field, hit pretty well. Back is Kiermaier, and he's got it just shy of the wall. Tucker hit it hard, but not enough. The inning ends. The Astros have left 5 men on base through the first 3 innings. 3-0 Rays. You're watching the 2020 American League Championship Series on TBS. It's presented by Geico. Brandon Lau ready to lead off on a bright, sunny Monday afternoon in San Diego, California. 3-0 Tampa Bay. 3-run home run. Manuel Margot. That came in the first inning after a costly error by Jose Altuve. So it's Lau to lead off, followed by Arozarena, then Ji-Man Choi. Shift is on for Lau. Lance McCullers back to work, and a first pitch strike is in there. McCullers coming off a 9-pitch inning with a couple of strikeouts on changeups. Did hit a batter in the second inning, but no damage done in inning number 2 of this game 2. On the ground, right into that shift. Altuve, and another low throw, and it's another error. Boy, Jose Altuve with 2 errors. Lau reaches. He tried to put a little something on that one, Frenchie, but that was just straight into the ground.
You almost get the feeling, guys, that he tried to put too much on it, and it got in his head a little bit. He fielded it cleanly, a throw you see him make all the time, and now a team that was the best in fielding percentage has made 3 errors.
He's got the thing, guys.
The thing. You're right.
He's got it. And for you fans out there, the thing is when it just gets in your head, and sometimes the easiest of throws are the hardest of throws, and the hardest of throws become easy. It's a very strange thing to talk about.
I'll tell you, that next throw is going to be a lot on that. Watch this first pitch. If you're McCullers, here's Arozarena. Got a base hit his last time up, jumping on the first pitch, and McCullers not close. So the door is open, and now after the error, you bring up one of the best postseason hitters going. Arozarena had a single through the hole between third and short his last time up. Saw 1 pitch. There's a strike. Inside the Numbers presented by DraftKings. A fastball killer is Randy Arozarena. Look at that. Slugging percentage on fastballs, not OPS. Slugging percentage, .983 on the fastball. Hit a fastball out of the ballpark last night.
I don't think this is too much of a stretch. Last night, Framber Valdez was more impressive than Blake Snell. He left the game losing. Today, so far, McCullers has been more impressive than Morton. He's losing 3-0.
Yeah, and right here, you got to see that breaking ball. Steady diet. 3 out of 4 home runs on fastballs this year. Arozarena hitting .316 off the fastball, 154 off that breaking pitch.
And that's up the middle. Another base hit. So Arozarena is 2 for 2, and now the Rays with 2 on and nobody out. Between innings, Lauren had a chance to visit with Dusty Baker.
Dusty, what did you see on that play at first before Margot's home run?
Well, I mean, just looked like he underthrew it. You know what I mean? And usually Yuli kicks everything over there, you know, and just came out of his glove. And then next thing you know, a 3-run homer. You know, we're hitting the ball hard today. Actually harder than them, but you know, they got that big 3-run homer out of Margot. We didn't think that ball was going, but last night it might not have gone, but today that ball's flying. So I anticipate a high-scoring game today.
An emotional day for you. How's Joe Morgan on your mind?
Yeah, he's on my mind, but you know, I know Joe's with me, and you know, I got another angel up there. I got a bunch of them, you know, especially this year, and you know, I just know that they're pulling for us.
Thanks for sharing, Dusty.
All right, you're welcome.
You know, Dusty's got a lot of calls this week. Jimmy Lee Solomon, he got the call, passed away this week. And now Joe Morgan. First hitter I ever faced in the major leagues was Joe Morgan. He and I ended up living in the same development. We were neighbors and played golf together. And I could listen all day to his stories about the Big Red Machine.
No question. I appreciate Dusty there. Well, his Astros are in the deep water again here in this third inning. Ji-Man Choi, 2 on, nobody out. And McCullers slings one in for a strike. Choi reached on that error, that first error, on what looked like a routine ground ball with the shift on. Altuve with the short hop throw, and then the next man, Margot, hit the 3-run homer. 2 Altuve errors thus far.
And from an offensive standpoint, I think you heard Dusty talk about we're out hitting them. We're hitting the ball harder, but at the same time, yes, they've got a few breaks from where it's hit, but the Astros have the Rays have taken advantage of the Astros' mistakes.
A big opportunity here. First and second with nobody out. And Choi takes a fastball for a strike. Choi had a home run against Garrett Cole in the Yankees game 1 of the division series. Opposite field home run. Has found a home with these Tampa Bay Rays. He bounced around quite a bit from major league club to major league club. Rays got him from the Milwaukee Brewers. He's been a big hit with the Tampa Bay Rays. Essentially in a platoon with Mike Brasso at first base, left-right platoon. The Tampa native, Lance McCullers, said he grew up going to games at Tropicana Field. He recollects going to a League Championship Series game in '08 and a World Series game. And he thinks he might have been at the game when Wade Boggs had his 3,000th hit. He can't quite remember, but he knows he was at a lot of games at the Trop. And a lot of history there with the Rays from Tampa.
Boggsy hit a home run, right, and then kissed the plate.
Yes, he did.
I think he did.
Back in the Devil Rays days.
That's right.
Of the Tampa Bay franchise. Tampa native.
You'd like to think you'd remember being at that game,
I feel
right?
like that'd be something you'd remember.
He was a little kid.
No balls, 2 strikes on Choi. Rays ready to run with 2 on, and that one misses high. Trying to work around a couple of Jose Altuve errors. Altuve's never had 2 errors in a postseason game. Just the 5th time in his entire big league career that he's had 2 errors in a game. A Gold Glove Award winner. And if you're Jose Altuve right now, Jeff, in your mind, are you saying hit the ball to me, let me get a good throw out of the way, or just the opposite? I'd be very interested the next ground ball he gets.
Well, and I'm going to be interested more than that is when no one's on base and they play that shift, does he stay out to where he is, or does he come in
play closer,
make it a little bit easier for him to throw it?
2 throws in the shift, short hopping Gurriel. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good block by Maldonado, and the count evens at 2-2. Those are important plays. Keep a double play intact. Joy will hit the ball on the ground.
Yeah, McCullers has slowed this game down because he knows how important these outs are. He's got to get through this inning without giving up a run.
An E4 and a single. 2 on, nobody out. And 2-2 the count on Ji-Man Choi. And a swing and a foul tip right into the mid of Maldonado for a strikeout. Out number 1. Big out to get for Lance McCullers.
Heck of a job by McCullers pitching to Ji-Man Choi, who's got a good eye. First pitch curveball, 2 in a row to get ahead, but then tried to pitch out of the strike zone to get himself a strikeout. Ji-Man Choi fouled off some tough pitches, took some really tough pitches, but finally the breaking ball got him.
So his stuff is electric right now.
It is.
The movement, when you see the tails on him, there's a lot going on to try to square up against McCullers. Now it's Margot who got him for a 3-run home run in the first. What a start to this game for Margot. He steps up to the plate in the bottom of the first after the error.
Man, you can see the way he hits down on the ball, BA. He gets that backspin on it, and that's how it was able to go out. And then turns around the next inning and just gives up his body for the team. Saves 1 run, maybe 2, and makes the catch of the series so far.
Heck of a play, Manuel Margot, the former San Diego Padre. Yeah, Margot MG. I like that.
I would say he's going to be number 1 in the running for Pedro's Who's Your Daddy tonight.
I did see that last night. I loved it.
No balls and a strike. And Margot in the air, left field, got jammed. And there is out number 2. So McCullers chipping away here with 2 on, nobody out. Now 2 on, 2 outs. And the left-handed bat coming up, Joey Wendell.
Well, goes with the 4-seamer instead. Breaking ball for the 3-run home run. 2 straight fastballs there and ran it up the bat of Margot.
It's a crucial inning for McCullers and the Astros, and the kind of inning that could give an offense some life if you get through this. Pick me up for Altuve. Astros will have Correa ready to lead off the 4th. Here's Joey Wendell. Tough at bat for the Tampa Bay Rays. This guy can really hit, and he will battle. He's off to a terrific start.
You're right, Brian, though. You can really give some life to your bench if somehow you get out of this inning without giving up a run.
And I go back to the 4th inning in the ALDS for McCullers with them already down 3-0. First and second, he's able to strike 2 out, get out of the inning, and then they come back and put 4 runs up.
Wendell had 6 hits in the series against the Yankees. 6 for 17. He scored 4 runs. Rays winning in 5 against New York. Wendell was a big part of it. Into the ground it goes. Altuve's throw is a good one. Got that one out of the way. Works around an error. Excellent job by Lance McCullers Jr. Strands a pair. We go to the 4th. 3-0 Tampa Bay. Well, in the analytic world of baseball, the human element is a big one, and that's why Dusty Baker excels as he does. Look at that. Sometimes you just need a hug, and Jose Altuve made a throw to end the inning. Gets a hug from his manager. That's where Dusty Baker has always been, at the top of the food chain, and why he's been around so long as a big league manager.
Many players who played for him have called him a father figure. If you need that, a brother figure, uncle, whatever you need, Dusty can provide.
Charlie Morton back on the mound, deals strike 1 to Correa. I'm sure Altuve is glad to get a good throw off to end that inning.
He had a good throw and a good hug, so hopefully he's feeling good now.
If we had a roll of lifesavers, that would complete the trifecta.
2 errors by Altuve. 1 led to the 3-run homer, but McCullers pitching around the error in the 3rd. Gets through it. That's a big effort there by McCullers to not surrender any more runs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Correa takes a ball down and away. 2-1 now.
French, you know this. When you're hitting the ball like this on the bench, you're just saying, hey, guys, keep going. Keep going. We're going to get them.
And you heard Dusty say that to Lauren. We're stinging the ball. We're hitting it a lot harder than they are. It's just not finding a place, or if we can't get the big hit, eventually they'll break through. That's what they got to keep believing as this game goes on.
On the flip side, if you're Charlie Morton right here, the Correa to deal with early, and then you get to the bottom of the order, could be a potential momentum swing, not scoring with 2 on and nobody out. He knows that as well as anyone.
He needs a quick inning. He's been working hard these first 3 innings.
Pitch number 63 for him, and Correa sends one foul. Got good wood on it. Out ahead of it, though.
That curveball, he's thrown a couple of those today. That's the hanger, the one Maldonado hit for a double right there, and Correa just got out in front of it.
Rays have had Correa's number in the postseason the last 2 years. He's just 3 for 22 against Tampa Bay pitching. This was a division series matchup last year. 1-5 by the Astros. Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander and company carried the heavy burden on the pitching staff last year for Houston. A swing and a foul tip right into the middle of the catcher. A strikeout. 1 away as Correa goes down swinging. Moments ago, Lauren caught up with Rays skipper Kevin Cash.
Kevin, is Manny okay? What did he say after that catch to you?
Well, he made a great play. He got a little cut on his shin, but I think he's all right. He's come up big for us with the bat and defensively right there.
Some hard contact off Morton. How's he pitching around it?
He's doing a good job. He's using his veteran experience, and hopefully we can get him a little more efficient to get him deeper.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks.
Appreciate Kevin Cash spending a moment with us. Every button he is pushing right now, it is working. One of the best managers in the game. He'll be on the short list for manager of the year in the American League. The 42-year-old Kevin Cash, now in year 6. Cash was the youngest manager when he was hired. He was 37 when he replaced Joe Madden. That was in 2015. Now the 4th youngest, despite being in year 6. And another Tampa guy and Kevin Cash. He's got deep Tampa roots. His father Mike had a minor league baseball career, got stuck behind Mike Schmidt with the Phillies, and taught his son Kevin the game of baseball. That one's inside. Morton hits Gurriel. So a hit batter with 1 away. Astros have a base runner. Morton has not had a clean inning yet.
Made 3-0 pitch. Right off the backside.
And I thought really after that 3-2 to Correa, he dialed in his best sinker of the game so far, and then comes back and throws 4 pitches not that close to the zone.
His 4th start as a Tampa Bay Ray in the postseason. Charlie Morton has 3 wins, including a victory, game 3 of the division series against the Yankees.
Charlie didn't pitch a lot this year, so his arm slot's a little off, a little lower than usual. That's why he's having trouble with that breaking ball.
Shoulder problems this year in August. Reddick takes a ball.
Charlie's kind of a late bloomer. He was the 3rd round pick in 2002 by the Atlanta Braves. You know who the 1st and 2nd rounders were?
Who's that, Jeff?
Well, Brian McCann, the 2nd round. He's at home golfing and eating donuts.
Where's the 1st rounder?
Me, and I'm here with you old guys. So good for Charlie that he is still playing.
Golfing and eating donuts.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I'm sure Mac's going to love that description.
By the way,
give him a little something.
That's exactly what you're doing as well, except no golf and heavy donuts.
But he was a guy that kind of figured it out as he went through Pittsburgh and then on, but he's had a great career.
Injuries too played a part.
Lauren's report when we started the broadcast today, and when he kind of locked into the best pitcher in the game at that moment, Roy Halladay, when he kind of locked into his mechanics and saw his work ethic, he said, I'm a similar body type, similar kind of stuff. This is more in the sinker slider era of the game. 2009, 10, 11. And Roy Halladay was as good as it gets. Reddick hits the ball in the air, left field, and Arozarena's there to make the play. 2 men are out. I mean, there was a day when Charlie Morton's delivery was spot on with Roy Halladay. He's tempered that a little bit, but you can still see a lot of the Halladay influence in his delivery.
Especially how they gathered in the middle before proceeding to pitch. It was eerily similar in the day.
A little more straightened up. His career really took off with the Astros, though. He got into the game planning, the analytics side of it, all of the detailed elements that the Astros brought to the table about their pitchers, the spin rate, where to pitch. And as the strike zone began to elevate, Charlie Morton, who had been a sinker slider pitcher, started to effectively pitch upstairs, and that kind of changed things for him as a member of the Astros.
29 wins in 2 years in Houston. His first year with the Tampa Bay Rays, 54 wins in a 3-year span.
Garrett Cole, same way, guys. Came from Pittsburgh, went to Houston, and completely changed what he was doing. We all know the story of that $300 million and blah blah.
But you can see on his breaking ball, he's kind of underneath it. That's why it's not breaking. Doesn't have any breakdown in the strike zone. It's just going sweeping flat across the strike zone.
Zunino wants that sinker. 2 outs in the inning, and that one's going to get away from Zunino, and on his way to second base goes Gurriel.
Maldonado, 3-0 count now, double his first AB. Ron, the 9-hole hitters are 8 for 18 off Morton this year. Lack of concentration, or
maybe, I don't know, but that's a ball that usually Zunino handles, but not even close to where he was set up.
That'll be a pass ball officially. And now the Astros again with a runner in scoring position. They've had a man in scoring position in each of the first 4 innings today. They have stranded 5. See if Maldonado is up there with a green light. 3-0. He's got Springer on deck. And he takes ball 4. He walked him on 4 straight. 2 on, 2 out. And to the top of the order goes Morton. He'll face Springer now. Our upcoming national TV schedule: Braves, Dodgers on Fox. They get their series underway tonight. 8:08 p.m. Eastern is start time there. Tuesday, game 2 will be an afternoon game, or a 6:05 Eastern start, the early game, and then we'll have the late game here on TBS for game 3 of this ALCS.
This is eerily similar to the start that Snell had yesterday. Lots of traffic, a lot of hard hit balls, lots of pitches.
And same kind of deal we had to finish the second inning, guys. Springer up, 2 outs.
Yeah.
Maldonado at first, Gurriel at second. Last time Margot made a heck of a catch. Now see if the Astros, looking for the first time to really get back in this ball game.
Well, it is a moment right here in the 4th inning. Astros have been knocking at the door. They are a big at bat away from completely changing this game. They trail 3-0. Springer with 5 hits with 2 outs and runners in scoring position in this post. One thing about the Rays, they do have in their quote unquote stable of guys in their bullpen, 2 of those horses are available today that weren't yesterday. Nick Anderson, who is loosening now, and Pete Fairbanks. And Ronnie, as we saw in game 5 against the Yankees, these are multi-inning dominant relief pitchers. Breaking ball misses. 1 ball, 1 strike on Springer.
I mean, this never is a recipe for success usually as a starting pitcher, to have all this traffic. But they've done it just like yesterday. Snell did it a lot of times with 2 outs. Same for Morton.
Springer lays off. 2 balls and a strike now. Jose Altuve hoping for a chance at some redemption. He's due next. Can almost feel the clock ticking right here for Charlie Morton. Springer has been a dangerous at-bat in the postseason. 2 on, 2 out. Springer lets it rip. Comes up empty. 2-2 now.
Wow, Morton got away with the pitch there. Springer had a massive hack. And usually, as you said, when you look at where we're at in this game, as you can see, gets a spinner right down the middle, Ron.
Oof. You find Springer is a good breaking ball hitter, right?
He is great in the zone. Got out in front a little bit on that one.
Big pitch here. 2-2 on the way. Tried to check his swing. Little half swing foul ball. Springer had some time on the injured list this year. One of the many Astros who found his way to the injured list. First 21 games, he had .219. But his last 23 of the regular season hit .338 and hit 9 home runs in September. Came into this postseason hot. 2-2 pitch. Spoils another one. Pitches by inning for Charlie Morton. He's got 25 in this fourth. And 83 pitches thus far. Every inning he has labored with men on base and in scoring position. Gurriel at second. Maldonado at first.
Usually when you see a pitcher dropping down, sometimes it means he's pitching in pain, but it belies that because his velocity isn't 96 miles an hour.
See what he has in mind here. 2-2 pitch, and that one missed. Springer doesn't bite. And now the runners will get a head start. With a couple of slow runners out there, that's significant for Houston. Rays have good arms in their outfield. Essentially, they have 3 center fielders in all 3 outfield spots, and they all throw it well. Full count, runners go. Springer on the ground. It's bobbled by Lau, but he recovers and throws him out. And Charlie Morton strands 2 more. Boy, the Astros leaving a boatload out there. They've stranded 7 thus far. They still trail 3-0. Willy Adames, he's put on a show defensively here today. Took a hot shot off the bat of Bregman. That was in the first inning. Another stab on a backhand play off the bat of Correa. And this may be one of the better plays of the game. Able to get it out with Bregman running. The quarterback of this Tampa Bay Rays infield, Willy Adames. And a live wire personality leads off here in this 4th inning. Adames, Kiermaier, and Zunino coming up. Right off his foot. Astros have had their chances, guys. 0 for 5 with the runners in scoring position. They've stranded 17 in the last 13 innings. And now 12 consecutive scoreless innings of this postseason as Adames took it right on the top of his foot.
You ever bump your foot into the furniture late at night?
Is that what it feels like?
1,000 times worse than that.
And if you're McCullers, you got to come back with the same pitch now.
McCullers has done a nice job. He's down 3-0. That home run by Margot, but he's been able to pitch around a couple of mistakes.
He's throwing the ball free and easy. He has all 3 of his pitches working.
Whoa, what a pitch. Comeback sinker on the edge. Looking like Charlie Morton right there at 97 miles an hour. And there is out number 1. Adames strikes out.
Followed up a changeup that was down and 0 and came back with a fastball on that outside part. He had enough movement to bring it back right on that outside corner. Perfect pitch.
Yeah, 97 after that changeup, like you said, Enron, no chance to pull the trigger.
Here's Kevin Kiermaier. Had 2 doubles yesterday. Double down the right field line, and He doubled down the left field line. Hit a key 3-run home run against the Yankees in Game 3 of that division series. The longest tenured Ray and a 3-time Gold Glove Award winner. McCullers struck him out with a changeup his first time up. And hit sharply, caught by Gurriel. Reached up at the last moment to pull it in. That might have hooked foul, but Gurriel makes the play for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down for McCullers.
Yeah, B.A., I think you might be right. Look at that thing hooking. It might have been fair.
Yeah,
I think it would have been. Yeah, it would have been close, but great play. And with Kiermaier, if that ball's fair, that's a triple standing up.
No question with his speed. So a nice play by Gurriel. 2 up, 2 down here. Mike Zunino. Always ready to fire on that first pitch. Zunino's hit a couple of homers this postseason and pops this one up right up the pipe in the infield. Correa will make the call, and the Astros shortstop puts it away. 9-pitch inning for McCullers. 4 innings in the books. We go to the 5th. In Game 2, it's 3-0 Rays. Pacific Beach, P Beach. You catch a wave there, Ronnie?
Moose McGillicuddy's. That's right up your alley, Frenchie.
Those starter waves right there for you, Frenchie. 3-0 Charlie Morton and the Rays. They lead here as we go to the 5th inning. Jose Altuve leads off. Astros have been knocking at the door each and every inning. They've had at least one man in scoring position. Altuve with a leadoff single in the 3rd. Twice the Astros have had their lead man on. 5 times in this series they've had their leadoff man on, and they have not scored those leadoff hitters. Only run of the series for the Astros was Altuve's home run with 1 out in the 1st inning yesterday in Game 1. Kevin Cash trying to squeeze 1 more inning out of Charlie Morton with a high pitch count. This feels very similar to what we saw yesterday with Blake Snell. 3rd time through, an OPS over 1,000, and that is not good if you're Charlie Morton. Normally he'll go 5-6 innings, typically 5, but rarely gets 3rd time through. Oh, what a play at third base. Wendell to his feet, and it is in time to get the out. Joey Wendell put a star by that one. Great play to start this 5th inning.
I mean, selling out to his left with the dive through the shadows, gets up quickly and fires a strike. Doesn't get any better than that from Wendell.
Great play. And you said it, P.A. He's trying to sneak 1 more inning out of Morton, but every seam just got him. Every button he's pushed so far has worked.
No small thing, that stretch by Ji-Man Choi right there. I mean, absolutely catching it at its nearest point and able to get the out with a speedy Altuve. Bradley fouls off the first pitch. G-Man's put on a defensive clinic this postseason.
The entire Rays team has so far in this ball game.
Yeah, there's a whole highlight reel full of defensive gems in this one. Not just Adames. Now Wendell's involved. Michael Brantley down 0-2. He's having a nice postseason here. He's hitting 7 of 8 postseason games to a .355 average. Couple of home runs, 7 runs batted in. And a called strike 3. Charlie Morton carving up that inside corner. Out number 2. Chance to remind you that 1 in 5 kids in the U.S. may not be able to afford to play Little League. For every text of Little League, to 3-1-3-1-3-1. T-Mobile will donate $1 to their Little League call-up grant program so our kids can keep playing ball. Looky there. You know who that is? Alexis Lip and Jackson Randolph.
Nice.
Making an appearance. Producer and director get the spoils.
How about that?
Speaking of children, by the way, Braden Francoeur, happy 5th birthday, young man.
Thank you. Yeah, little guy turned 5 today. Little slugger. And I guarantee he's playing with trucks and not watching us.
No, well, that's where he should be.
That's right.
Bregman batting with 2 away. Morton has not had a 3-up 3-down inning yet. Did retire 3 in a row in the 3rd inning, but that was after a leadoff single by Altuve. The Rays are fully loaded in their bullpen here tonight, or this afternoon. They've got great options. Bregman on the ground. Adames backhands it, fires across the diamond in time. Excellent play by the Rays shortstop, and for the first time today, Charlie Morton retires the Astros in order. 11 pitch sequence there for Morton. Still 3-0 Tampa Bay. Game 2, the 2020 American League Championship Series on TBS. It's presented by Geico. Under brilliant sunshine here on a Monday afternoon in San Diego. Tampa Bay Rays, the home team, the best record in the American League this year. They won last night, and they lead 3-0 as Lance McCullers back to work. We start the bottom of the 5th, and a swing and a miss. Austin Meadows. McCullers has retired 6 in a row. Pitched out of a jam in the 3rd inning, 2 on, nobody out, and has not let up for air since. He's got 4 Ks. And he's trying to hang in there long enough to give his offense a chance to put some runs on the board. Astros have 5 hits, but they've stranded 7. Inside the Numbers presented by DraftKings. Times through the lineup. You see the batting average jumps 3rd time through. Ronnie, this is not so unusual. These are fairly typical numbers of pitchers when they get into the 3rd time through the batting order.
That's why it was so interesting yesterday with Framber Valdez. His numbers are just the opposite. He gets better as the game goes along.
Charlie Morton's afternoon appears to be over. There's double barrel action in the Rays bullpen. The rookie Shane McClanahan, the lefty, and Pete Fairbanks, the right-hander. And both can bring it upper 90s, even triple digits. Sort of talking about with the Rays bullpen, Ron, yesterday they felt like they stole a game. You never really steal a game, but when you're talking about the design of how you want to get through it, as Meadows strikes out, yesterday was a big win for Kevin Cash because he didn't have to use Fairbanks and he didn't have to use Nick Anderson.
Well, even more importantly, I don't think he had Fairbanks. He didn't have Anderson, so he was trying to get through that eighth inning with Loop. Loop couldn't complete it. Brought in Castillo, and Castillo finished it with a 5-out save, but Castillo might be the one who's not available today.
That's a carryover from the division series as well. A 5-game hard-fought series with the Yankees, and high usage of that bullpen in that series. Yeah, I think Diego Castillo.
He looks like a guy who's just chilling.
Is that tranquilo?
Yeah, tranquilo
right there. That is about a day off as it gets. He finished the game against the Yankees game 5, got the win, pitched the last 2 innings, and then got the save, getting the last 5 outs yesterday. And that is some San Diego chill right there for San Diego Castillo, they're calling him now.
Deserves it.
If he wasn't in the quarantine or in the bubble, he might be at Pacific Beach right now.
Looks like those Astros bullpen is just right there. These players, by the way, they're scattered out. He's not just sitting in the stands. That's where he's being told to sit because they're trying to space out as much as they can, and they've put awnings up with no fans, trying to get proper social distancing. So
a lot of these players know each other, and the bullpens are right on top of the other.
And he's also sitting in the shade. Smart man. Everybody else is kind of in the sun.
2-2 the count. Brandon Lau, the batter, and he takes a ball. That does bring something to mind, though, as you see those shadows start to creep out. The shadow of the light tower. The tough sun field with the setting sun is right field. And Frenchie, you played a lot of games in this ballpark. It can be a beast when it is clear like this, no marine layer, and there are the harsh shadows as McCullers rings the bell, and Lau strikes out for out number 2. Back-to-back Ks for McCullers, and Ronnie's got 8 in a row.
He did not throw one fastball to Lau. All changeups and a 3-2 perfect breaking ball.
TBS Total Motion presented by Progressive. Excellent look at the spinner from McCullers. 2 gone. Here's a Rosarena. Strike 1, pouring him in. 97 on the upper quadrant outside.
Yeah, he looks to get stronger right now as the game's going on. Really working all 3 pitches now at any point.
Couple shakes. He might come with that fastball again.
Yeah, wants to start over. You know what happens to fastballs with a Rosarena? Somewhere deep in his mind, he said. Rosarena hit a curveball his last time up. He's 2 for 2 today. Bounce that one. Rookies with 4 more home runs in a single postseason. Rosarena's got 4. Evan Longoria in that magical World Series run in 2008 had 6. One and 2 now.
That was a good off-speed pitch. Got him a little bit out front. We saw Paredes yesterday come in and really hammer him with good sliders. Got him to strike out.
Up in the zone, but still a lot of break out of the fingers of McCullers.
Ball and 2 strikes. And he got him. Rosarena strikes out, and McCullers strikes out the side. 9 in a row for Lance McCullers Jr. We go to the 6th inning. 3-0 Rays. Handshakes for Charlie Morton. His day is done, and he's got a chance to win again. And if the Rays do get to the finish line, it would be 4-0 for Charlie Morton in his 4 Tampa Bay Rays postseason starts the last 2 years. 5 shutout innings. Had a little bit of a Houdini act in a couple of those innings. But just like yesterday, Blake Snell goes 5, Morton goes 5 today, and now, Ronnie, the Rays are set up with their excellent bullpen lined up.
Well, we saw Fairbanks against the Yankees. This is another of the stable of hard right-hand throwers. 97 plus you'll see here, Frenchie, with a hammer and a split finger.
See the shadows of that light tower creeping out between the mound and the plate. First ball swinging. Tucker deep into center field. Kiermaier is there twice now. Tucker just missed it on the bat by a fraction. And 2 long, loud outs. He's 0 for 3, 1 pitch and 1 out for Fairbanks.
Yeah, last time I thought it might have got off the end a little bit. This one, he absolutely barreled up, but right at center. And Kiermaier, so good at getting back on the ball.
Tucker's 0 for 3 with those 2 flyouts and a strikeout. 1 away. Here is Carlos Correa. Send it down to Lauren Shahadi. She's got more on the Astros shortstop.
Oh, Brian, Carlos told me a few weeks ago Alex Cintron, one of their hitting coach, recommended he look back at his swing from 2015. So he did, and what he noticed was he was too tight to his body. His bat was too flat. He said, I've made it a point to get more vertical with my bat, and my bat nose flat, and it's made me quicker to the ball.
That's great, Lauren. I mean, look, when guys struggle like that, you're trying to go back to when you felt the best.
That ball's hit into deep left center field. That one's going to fly out of here. Correa right on cue. Solo home run. Carlos Correa puts the Astros on the board. No doubt about that one. And Right to Lawrence Point right there off the bat at 106.
Well, and he's having a postseason, guys, that I think he can get back and look at this in a couple of years,
Yeah.
whenever. But look, hitters like him are always searching for perfection. Here he gets a fastball after one low right down Broadway. And I don't care if you throw it 110 to Carlos Correa. Hands are quick. Fits there in the zone. He can square it up. 5th homer this postseason.
You told me before this series, though, you really felt that the Astros could match up with the high gas from the Rays bullpen.
Yeah, I told you when Pete Fairbanks came in, great pitcher, good numbers, but as hitters, and I think a lot of right-handed hitters in this Astros lineup, they'd rather see him than they would Ryan Thompson, who we saw last night, guys, coming from the side. We showed the angle of how far it is. You know, sometimes in a matchup like this, if they can lay off the off speed, which the Astros can, you get a fastball.
There's Alex Cintron. Correa been working with him and getting great results this postseason. Gurriel takes a strike. In the shadows, Frenchie, as a hitter, fastball versus breaking ball. What are the challenges when you're trying to hit with this type of strobe effect with the baseball coming in?
Well, to me, it's the breaking balls. When you start to get good spin on it, it's tough to see coming in and out of the shadows.
1-2 the count on Gurriel. Well, that is getting on you quickly, huh?
Alex Cintron, Troy Snicker, the other hitting coach, son of Brian Snicker for the Braves, and they talk about their whole philosophies dominate the strike zone. That ball's, whether it's fastball, off speed, if it's in that zone, they want you to put a good aggressive hack on it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 away. Astros on the board on a Carlos Correa home run. And Gurriel into right, going back on it is Margot. He's got it. Glasses on. That's a tough sun field in right now. See the direction of that shadow with Margot. Nice catch out, number 2.
A couple of better at bats in this game by Gurriel.
He's had a single. He got hit by a pitch. Hit that one on the barrel, but right at Margot. Yeah, you can see the reflection of that sun, man.
With the ski goggles.
2 outs. First ball swinging. Reddick in the air. Long run. Kiermaier will run it down. And Fairbanks is out of the inning in the 6th. But the Astros score. First run since the first inning of game 1. Carlos Correa. He's found the home run stroke in the postseason. That's his 5th. And it's 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Need to focus on the game? Hey Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb.
Game 2 of this ALCS. Padres home, Petco Park. Tampa Bay Rays against the Houston Astros. Home of the American League postseason this year. Petco Park. One of the most beautiful ballparks in the big leagues. We go to the bottom of the 6th now. Ji-Man Choi will lead off. Shift is on for him. McCullers is rolling right now for Houston. He has retired 9 straight. He struck out 7 in this game. Struck out the side last inning in the 5th. And in this 9 in a row retired, he's got 5 strikeouts.
A lot different start for him on this one, guys. In the ALDS, he didn't have control of his fastball from side to side, and his changeup didn't have the bite that it does today.
He started relying way too much on his cutter, which took away from his change and his curve.
1 ball, 1 strike on Ji-Man Choi. Astros just get on the board with a Correa homer. Big moment in this game happened in the 1st inning. Ji-Man Choi hit a little soft roller toward Altuve, and he threw it away, kept the door open, and then Manny Margot hit a 3-run homer in the 1st. They've switched Altuve and Correa on the shift, by the way. They put Correa out in the grass now where Altuve has been. Altuve's committed 2 errors from the spot where Correa is playing right now.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I mean, look, I think we all know Altuve won't affect him long term, I don't think. But at the same time, if he can throw from the infield, let him.
Yep. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he's gone. Another strikeout for McCullers. 4 consecutive strikeouts. He's got 8 now. As we take a look at StatCast powered by Google Cloud. And the array of pitches to produce those strikeouts. You can add 1 more to it. He's got 8 now.
And this 4-seamer just up in the zone. Maybe a cutter. A little 94 miles an hour.
That's what, if you don't think he's feeling it, he's throwing 94-mile-per-hour cutters right now.
He's bringing it. I mean, the thing that I noticed the most on that last replay was how the ball goes from bright to shadow to bright to shadow twice. I mean, it's strobing through the path of the pitch as Margot takes a ball.
Yeah, it's the lights, BA. You know, it's not so much kind of, you see where the shadows are, that light shadows.
The light stanchions?
The light, or you see it's going in between where you have shade, sun, shade, sun. So very difficult for these hitters right now as pitchers need to attack.
All that much more impressive that Correa was able to launch one out against Fairbanks. I mean, as an offense, if you're the Houston Astros right now and you're watching McCullers have this kind of game and settle in here and dominate, retiring 10 in a row, you start to feel a little bit of a momentum shift.
Margot might be swinging 3-0.
Takes a strike. Says, maybe I should have.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Hit a big 3-run home run in the first. 3-1 pitch and a big swing and a miss. Same spot, comes up empty. 3-2 the count.
Looks like two seamers from McCullers here, both with a little sink on them.
Just wicked stuff right here. McCullers is featuring. Pitch count's in great shape. This is pitch number 80 as we play here in the 6th, and Margot fouls it away. Chased one off the plate. Joey Wendell due next. Rays have not had a base runner since the 3rd inning. The Arozarena hit, which came on a curveball. 10 in a row retired for McCullers. If you're a hitter right now and you're begging for cloud cover, you can forget it. It is a clear blue sky right now. Margot on the ground. Bregman. And there is out number 2. Well, we've never done October like this before, and that means anything can happen. MLB has you covered on social. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. The 2 Major League Baseball bubbles in play right now. Petco Park, San Diego. Arlington, Texas is the other. The National League will be underway tonight on Fox. The Braves and the Dodgers will get their best-of-7 series started. Max Fried against Walker Buehler. Game 2 of this ALCS. Rays won yesterday, and they lead 3-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Wendell.
Well, the NBA bubble just ended. We want to thank our crew that was in that bubble for, it seemed like forever, right? And then our crew of young women and men here that have gone into the bubble and have changed at least our booth a half-dozen times with all the hard work they put in.
Great job.
Many coming from the NBA bubble here to San Diego as Wendell with a swing and a miss. It's a phenomenal job. Congratulations to the Los Angeles Lakers, their 17th World Championship, joining the Celtics now, most all time. And tip our hat to Adam Silver and the NBA. 0 positive tests.
Wow, amazing.
And a phenomenal run. No positive test here in the MLB bubble either. These leagues just putting together a lot of hard hours, long hours to make this all happen. Wendell, a swing and a miss, and McCullers just dialed in right now. 2 more strikeouts in the 6th. He's got 9 strikeouts. It's 3-1. Astros coming up. We go to the 7th.
All new originals, movies, and more.
That's one of the great zoos in the world right there, the San Diego Zoo. We are in San Diego, California for the American League postseason as we make our way to the 7th inning. Pete Fairbanks back on the mound, starts his 2nd inning of work. 3-1 Tampa Bay. Bottom of the order for the Astros. Martin Maldonado there in the shadow, and he takes a strike. 9-1-2 coming up. Maldonado, Springer, and Altuve. A 3-run home run, Manny Margot in the 1st inning. All unearned runs against McCullers. McCullers has dialed it in since.
John Tumpain behind the plate has been spot on all game. This has really been a theme for the Rays in this postseason so far because they have not gotten a lot of outs out of their starting pitching. Their relievers have had to go multiple innings.
Their relievers with more innings this year in the regular season than their starting pitchers. But as we said last night, this is a Rays kind of game. They play a lot of close games. They've won back-to-back 2-1 games. Maldonado's had a good day at the plate. Had a double and a walk.
Brian, coming into this game, the Rays starting pitching has thrown 35 2/3 innings pitched. The relief pitchers 35 1/3 innings pitched.
That? Tyler Glasnow had one of those short starts, as coming back on just 2 days rest in Game 5 of the ALDS. What a performance. And they strung together multi-inning outings from their relievers as Fairbanks goes up the ladder. Maldonado strikes out. Out number 1 of this 7th inning. First strikeout for Fairbanks. Hey, steal a base, steal a taco is back. If someone steals a base this World Series, Taco Bell is letting all of America steal a free Doritos Locos taco. Steal a base, steal a taco, only at Taco Bell. Game 2 of this ALCS. It was a 2-1 win yesterday for the Rays. They lead it 3-1 now. 1 away in the 7th for George Springer.
And the Astros have 8 outs left, guys, to try to find a way to get 2 runs. If you're Dusty Baker on the other side, you got to be telling yourself, Valdez threw great yesterday, McCullers throwing great still now, and we figure it's going to continue to go. And with this offense, you got to think we got to get one of these games.
A lot of line drive outs. As strike 2. 0-2 the count as Springer falls behind. Astros had a ton of traffic early in this game. Stranded 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, left another man on in the 3rd, 2 more in the 4th. Correa finally put him on the board with a home run last inning. 0-2 the count. And a wave and a miss. Down he goes. A breaking ball, and Springer is gone. Back-to-back strikeouts for Fairbanks. 2 gone in this 7th inning.
And great job by Pete this inning. 2 curveballs to Maldonado, then climbs the ladder, and now three of these to Springer. Tough to see right now. You can see the players taking it, and he chases.
Another good block by Zunino, just traps it right in front. Springer didn't run to first, so he didn't have to make the play to first. Fairbanks 3 times in the regular season went more than an inning. Game 5 he went more than an inning in the ALDS.
2 men are out. Here is Altuve. First ball swinging, fouled it away. Fairbanks recorded a save in Game 1 against Toronto in the wild card series. He became the 13th Tampa Bay Ray to record a save in a truncated season of 60 games. So in the first 62 games of the year, there were 13 different relievers record a save. The Rays led the American League in saves. 12 different pitchers in the regular season, and Fairbanks has notched a couple of saves in this postseason.
You know, Brian, it was semi by design because of the injuries that they suffered to their pitching staff. They wanted everyone in that bullpen to have some tough outs to get at the end of games.
Fairbanks had 2 Tommy John surgeries, one in high school and one 3 years ago or 2 years ago. And he's come back throwing harder than ever. 98 right down the middle. Altuve never saw it. It's 1-2.
And I think these shadows you saw last inning, some of the swings they took off McCullers, this inning, same thing. The pitches these guys are taking and swinging, it is the toughest it's been right now. That looks like a nightmare.
Unless you're Ron Darling. That looks like a dream.
Or Pete Fairbanks.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And down he goes. Altuve strikes out. Fairbanks strikes out the side. 3-1 Tampa Bay. They're stable of guys. They're horses. They're starting to saddle up right now. Stretch time in San Diego. Upcoming championship series schedule coming up tonight. ALCS Game 1 on Fox, 8:08 first pitch. We'll be back for Game 3 tomorrow. It'll be the first game in the NLCS, and then us on TBS, coverage starting for us at 8 p.m. Eastern for an 8:40 first pitch. Rays Astros Game 3 tomorrow. You can listen to these games on ESPN Radio as well. Adames a swing and a miss. Lance McCullers just on the attack. Quickly 0-2 on the Tampa Bay leadoff hitter.
He saw what happened last inning. He wants to get out there, throw as many strikes as he can.
He's retired 12 in a row. He's got 9 strikeouts for the game. Let's send it down to Lauren Shahadi.
Oh, well, I'm sitting by the Rays dugout, and Willie was shaking his head when he came up to the on-deck circle and said, it's just so hard to see right now.
Not bad. I mean, you can tell the reaction of the hitters and all the whiffs that we have seen here in the last few innings. Advantage Tampa Bay with their high velocity relievers. But at the same time, and we don't know how this game's going to end, but as of this moment, McCullers pitching well and pitching deep into this game, and one game leads to the next in this battle of attrition with no days off in a best-of-7 series. Setting up the Astros bullpen well, regardless if you come back tonight or not, as Adames strikes out. And that's number 10 for Lance McCullers Jr.
Got great arm action on that breaking ball. Looks just like a fastball.
Great start from Valdez yesterday. Went 6 innings, lost. McCullers trailing 10 strikeouts, no walks, and 6 1/3, and showing no signs of wear right now. Here's Kevin Kiermaier, and he shows bunt. Look out, man. Up and in.
That's scary.
Yeah, no bueno.
Yeah. Ooh. Man, he didn't even see that pitch, guys, until it was pretty much by him.
Look at how it disappeared just on our screen.
Anytime I do a game with afternoon shadows like this, I think about Lee Smith and all those saves at Wrigley Field,
right.
and you know, getting the ball about 3:30, 4 o'clock range, you know, at Wrigley Field.
If you're the Astros hitters right here, you're telling McCullers slow down a little bit. About another 10 minutes, that shadow will be over.
Right.
We don't want to go back out for the 8th to face that.
You need a good caddy to tell you to step off for a minute. Kiermaier takes a ball.
Lee would take about 20 minutes to come in from the bullpen.
And his day would be over in 5.
Exactly.
Now, there's only 1 hit in the game since the 3rd inning, and that was a Carlos Correa home run.
Rays only have 3 hits, but one of them a 3-run homer. Following the error in the first. Kiermaier, a swing and a miss, 3-2 now.
First double-digit strikeout game in McCullers' career in the post.
Payoff pitch coming. and make it number 11 for Lance McCullers Jr. 3 in a row for McCullers. No chance. Total motion presented by Progressive. 14 in a row retired by McCullers. And racking up the big strikeout numbers with the long shadows here at Petco Park on this bright sunny day. Mike Zunino now.
Right, if you go back to both teams combined, the last 8 hitters, 7 Ks.
Looking ahead to the Astros 8th inning. Bradley, Bregman, Tucker. Kevin Cash had Aaron Loup loosening in the bullpen. In the Astros bullpen, Scrub getting loose. Zunino in the air to left center field. That is way back. And Mike Zunino hits one a ton out of here. Mike Zunino adds to the Rays lead. It's 4-1. Just incredible power. Light tower power, as they call it. And Zunino's got another one. Had the game-winning RBI yesterday with a base hit. And this one was a no-doubter.
Just the fastball up in the zone, away, and just a towering shot off the bat of Zunino.
111 off the bat.
Really?
That is his 3rd home run of this postseason. Meadows on the ground with 2 outs. A 2-base throw in time, and that will retire the side. But Mike Zunino gets him in the shadows. No problem for the Rays catcher. Big insurance run right there. It's 4-1. Time for the Geico game summary. The Tampa Bay Rays 3-run homer in the first from Manuel Margot. Mike Zunino hits his 3rd postseason home run in the 7th in the shadows. And it's 4-1 Rays. We go to the 8th inning. Charlie Morton in line for the victory. Went 5 innings of shutout ball. Worked through a few jams. Lance McCullers pitched very well through 7. The moonshot is right. Aaron Loup is on to face Michael Bradley.
They tried to get Loup through the 8th inning in yesterday's game. It was a struggle. He hadn't pitched in 10 days, but now back-to-back should have a better feel.
Right back on the horse. This has been the rhythm of Kevin Cash. He's been able to utilize all of his pieces. The entire 28-man roster, and Bradley rolls one to second base. Lau makes a play for out number 1. I'll tell you, Mike Zunino, guys, hitting in that 9th spot in the batting order for Tampa Bay. This 9th place in the lineup has been so productive. These 2 catchers specifically with Perez and Zunino. 4 home runs, 9 RBIs in the postseason from the 9th place hitter for the Rays.
Well, and that's the thing. You know how good their team is, but you start getting production from those types of guys, especially with Adames and Lau struggling. Yeah. Got to have someone to pick you up.
That really has made up for Lau.
Yeah,
not
it really has.
The post.
Zunino, if there's one guy who might be acclimated to the harsh shadows, it's the guy who's catching and seeing these pitches come in pitch after pitch. And man, he did not miss. 25 homers with the Mariners. A strike to Bregman. Inside the numbers presented by DraftKings. Mike Zunino's done it again. 111 miles per hour off the bat. Hardest hit ball of the day here in game 2. And it was exit velocity with launch angle, and that's why he hit it as far as he did.
Remember, Lauren was telling us before game 1 that Alex Bregman, when they're having the workout, was working out for 2-3 hours to get accustomed to all the different kind of shades that would come over the course of the afternoon in a game.
Bregman on the ground, gobbled up by Wendell. Another nice play. And the throw, G-Man with the stretch in time for the out. G-Man Choi, another terrific play. This one might go to review here. And the nimble first baseman of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Another great defensive play.
Made harder because of the shadows. Oh, he's there.
Yeah, no problem.
They're going to take a look at it because it's late.
Wendell's put on a clinic himself at third base. Did the hard part, and then the throw was a little wide. That was close. Let's see if he keeps a toe on the bag here. In the glove. Nothing there would overturn it. See this angle.
It's in the glove. See, that's the difference, right? The rule is once it's in that perimeter of the leather.
And what a great job of him to close that glove where the ball didn't pop out. Great play by G-Man.
And they call him out, by the way. They get the quick ruling here on the replay.
So let's finish what I was saying. Is that Bregman was trying to get used to all the different colors, shades, and you got Zunino back there catching 99 all afternoon. If anyone is accustomed to what it looks like at the plate, it's Mike Zunino.
And it's just one run. It's an add-on run, but it feels like more if you're the Houston Astros trying to come back with your pitcher dominating. McCullers, prior to that home run, had retired 14 consecutive batters.
That was the run they got back for the Correa home run.
Yep.
2 outs. And to the opposite field, Kyle Tucker with a base hit.
Same thing he did last night against Luke. Smoked one to left field, hit it too hard to score. Brantley today, same approach, same result.
Good piece of hitting right there. That's a big hit for the Astros. Extends the inning. Going to get their hottest hitter to the plate in Carlos Correa now.
Correa was the last guy Luke saw last night before they brought in Diego Castillo to get the big double play. Got him 0-2 or 1-2 and then came back and walked him.
What do you think the setup here is Ronnie, with Thompson and Anderson?
It's hard for me to believe that they'd allow Loop to face Correa here. You know, either Thompson or Anderson has to be the pitcher. But Cash has shown such discipline and staying with pitchers to try to keep as many pitchers fresh for this 7 games in 7 days.
I think he's on his way out.
Okay,
just
there you
wanted to buy a little time.
Now he'll walk slow.
Thompson was the last one to get up. That would lead you to believe that this is a Thompson at bat here, but we'll see what he goes with. Kevin Cash will make the call to the bullpen, and Luke gets the first 2 outs, gives up a hit to the left-hander, and he will exit. 4-1 Tampa Bay. Astros down to their last 4 outs of this game 2, and their big slugger coming up, Correa, who homered his last time up. With a little hope here. They got a man on. Correa is coming up. Take a look at StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. And this 2020 postseason, Correa's got 11 hits, 5 home runs thus far. He's hit for a .440 batting average, using the whole field, and he just launched a monster home run his last time up back in the 6th inning. So talk us through this matchup here, Ronnie, with Thompson against Correa.
Thompson pitched the 7th yesterday. He went through Maldonado, Springer, Altuve. Why is he in this part of the game with 2 outs against Correa? Correa has never seen him. Unfamiliarity.
And I can add to that also in the fact with these shadows, seeing a ball come down here, it's a great matchup for Thompson and Kevin Cash.
Thompson is an incredible story. Tommy John surgery. He was with the Astros. He was drafted and signed by the Astros in their minor league system. The Rays got him from the Astros in the minor league Rule 5 draft, not even the major league draft. Think about this, guys. He's 27 years old last year in A-ball. He finished in Double-A, and now here he is with huge innings for the Tampa Bay Rays. 2 outs in the inning. 4-1 Tampa Bay.
The Tampa pen has inherited 16 runners in the postseason. None of them have scored.
That's how you advance.
Rays were #1 in the American League. Inherited runners stranded by their bullpen this year as Correa takes a strike.
And that spray chart we saw, BA, when they show with Correa, the reason he's having so much success this postseason, exactly what you said, he's using all fields. Dead center for the home runs, right? During the year, a little more pull happy. Now he's back to what Lauren had said, founding a different thing with his hands. It's proven to be huge.
2 outs. Runner at first is Tucker on the ground, picked up by Wendell. Goes the easy way to second. The inning is over. Thompson delivers again against the club that gave up on him. 4-1 Rays. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Today's Base Camp presented by T-Mobile, connecting you to America's largest 5G network. 2 cameras in each base. 4 years in the making, giving us some great images from down on the field. Microphones included as well. Zunino and his home run trot added to the Rays lead. It is 4-1. We play in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Rays are coming to bat. Brandon Lau will lead off for Tampa Bay. Andre Scrub on the mound for Houston. And McCullers right now would suffer the loss in this game, but he pitched extremely well. 7 innings. The 3-run homer came after the error. Those are all unearned runs. Had 11 strikeouts today. 2 excellent starts from Valdez and McCullers, and it's possible the Astros could find themselves down 2-0 barring a comeback.
He couldn't pitch any better today. Had everything working. Great changeups against the lefties. Mixed in his curveball, but not like he did against Oakland when he threw it almost 50% of the time. Really a good mixture of his pitches.
Not many times you see a game really made out in the first inning. Today we saw it.
Yeah.
Astros first and third. Bregman hits the hard ball for a line drive. They have to stop, get out of the inning, and then Altuve with the error and the 3-run homer by Margot.
Andre Scrub, good cutter, good vertical drop on that breaking ball, that curveball. Tends to walk too many hitters.
Scrub coming to the Astros from the Dodgers. He was in that Tyler White deal, deadline deal last year. Rosarena due next. Rays 3 defensive outs away from going up 2-0 in this best-of-7 American League Championship Series. And Lau strikes out. Out number 1 of this 8th inning.
There's the vertical drop curveball that we were talking about, straight over the top. And that's 2 times in a row that Lau struck out on a nasty curveball. 1 from McCullers and 1 from Scrub.
Used to call that the 12-6 curveball.
Yeah, the drop they used to call it
going back further,
100 years ago.
Hands on the clock. 12-6. That is a great look at how the pitchers are generating different kind of spin with the hand angle and the super slow-mo replays. We're seeing things we've never seen before over the last 5 or 6 years with the technology improving, and these players are using this technology. High-speed cameras. Pitchers are really using the high-speed cameras to get their pitch location, hand location, release location, measuring all of these elements. Vertical drop, horizontal, the spin rate. It's all kind of pushing into the new age of baseball. On the ground, big hop for Bregman. Rosarena is retired. 2 for 4 for him, and 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Quick reminder here, authentic caps, tees, jerseys, hoodies, and more. You can get all your postseason gear and cheer on your team at home with the official source MLB Shop G-Man Choi with 2 away. Astros are at the bottom of their order. Just saw Thompson come out of the bullpen to get out of the inning, getting the ground ball from Correa. Another nice play by a Rays infielder, Joey Wendell. Nick Anderson is continuing to get loose, so that would probably answer the question of who's got the ninth.
Yeah, I thought there was a chance you might see Thompson come back out.
I think just remember, Thompson threw an inning yesterday, a third of an inning here. You know, you break him down and you bring in Anderson, who hasn't thrown in 2 days.
Close the door, and Anderson's been up twice already, so he's loose. And Kevin Cash has been able to navigate this one exactly how he wants. Say great bullpens make great managers, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Well, and he's done a good job pushing all the right buttons. And look, Rays are 3 outs away from being 7-2 this postseason, with Brandon Lau going 3 for 34.
That's a good point. Their best hitter this year has really struggled, but they are covering in a lot of areas. Obviously, they're pitching.
The defense, his first 2 games, has been impeccable.
They've had a number of A-plus defensive plays in this game already. Wendell's been excellent over there. Really, the left side. Adames has a few plays on the register today. Wendell. This Rays club has it going. The Astros know about that. They know what it's like to get on a roll like this. And if you're the opponent of the Rays right now, you've got to make them feel you at some point. Little half swing. He goes. Choi strikes out. That's a 3-up, 3-down inning. Stage is set. We go to the 9th. 4-1 Tampa Bay. Gurriel, Reddick, Maldonado will lead off. You're watching the 2020 American League Championship Series on TBS. It's presented by Geico. Defensive changes for the Rays. Hunter Renfroe enters right field. The Sun field right now. Margot goes from right to left. And the new pitcher on the mound, save opportunity. One of the best in the business this year, Nick Anderson.
I know we've spent a lot of time talking about how many different pitchers have saves for the Tampa Bay Rays, but this is their alpha in the bullpen. And if you're the Houston Astros, you have to look at it this way. If you're going to advance in any series, at some point you got to beat the closer. And here's their first chance.
Gurriel leads off. Reddick to follow. Maldonado scheduled to hit after that. Probably see a pinch hitter for the Astros catcher. That one's on the ground. Oh, another great play. Wendell to his feet. The throw, and not in time. Choi couldn't dig that one out. Gurriel legs it out. Boy, Wendell made an incredible diving stop, but the throw was short. And the Astros have life with a man on here in the 9th inning.
What a play. I mean, between Wendell and Adames and Choi, you can't get the ball through that hole. And had to hurry his throw a little bit, and it's the first time we've seen them not be able to make a play.
I think he had a little more time than he thought. He could have straightened up and really fired a strike over there, but he kind of short-armed it, and it sunk on him. And Choi, that's one of the few that we've seen that he has not picked.
That's a middle hop too. That would have been an incredible pick right there. Instead, a man is on, and now a base hit, and here come the Astros. Reddick on the first pitch he sees here in this 9th inning. 2 on, nobody out. Quick reminder here, 1 in 5 kids in the U.S. may not be able to afford to play Little League. For every text of Little League 313131, T-Mobile will donate $1 to their Little League call-up grant program, so kids keep playing ball. Visit to the mound, Kyle Snyder, Rays pitching coach. Back-to-back hits for the Astros to start this 9th inning.
This is going to turn over the lineup. Springer, Altuve probably get a chance to swing in this inning.
See, the bottom part of the lineup for the Astros today has kind of been the part that's really done a good job turning the lineup over. Springer twice today, first and second, 2 outs both times. Hasn't been able to get it done. Looks like he's going to have a third chance.
Aledmys Diaz will pinch hit. He was the designated hitter yesterday. Big at bat right here. The Astros down 3 runs, tying run at the plate in the dirt. We just don't know how much the division series took out of guys like Anderson and Fairbanks. Fairbanks pitched well today.
It's also the pressure of the postseason ramps up every series that you advance.
Ray set up to turn a double play on a ground ball and a big swing and a foul. Diaz was on it, fouled it back.
That's Snyder going out to talk to him about a scouting report, right?
I don't know. I think because he got hit twice with the error and the base hit he gave up, I think he's just trying to stop the momentum of the inning. You know, Houston trying to
give him a breather, get him back.
Sorry about that. Not the error, of course. Hit the infield hit. So 2 hits.
Two and one.
You can just see by the body language of the hitters, they can see the ball much better this inning.
Yeah, taking better hacks.
Aledmys Diaz got his first career postseason start yesterday. Was hitless. And a slow roller foul. Beg your pardon, had an infield hit, I should say. It was 1 out of 4 yesterday. Was his first hit in the postseason as an Astro. 0 for 9 last year in the playoffs. Dusty Baker giving him a shot to do some damage. 2 on, nobody out. 9th inning, game 2. 2-2 the count. Got Springer on deck. Anderson deals in the air, center field. That's going to fall, a base hit. Gurriel had to make sure it was down. Got a late start. He'll stop at third. The bases are loaded. And the Lumber Company is coming up for Houston.
Yeah, and finally Houston gets a hit with runners in scoring position. Didn't score anybody, but loaded up the bases. Great at bat coming off the bench. Gets a slider, takes for a strike. Great hack on a fastball up. Takes the pitch in. Gets the curveball and fouls it off. And then gets one almost the same exact spot. Lines it to center field. And now you have the top of the order up. Bases loaded, and the Astros have been waiting for an opportunity to break through. Here's their chance.
Pinch runner for Houston over at first base as the Astros bring on Miles Straw. He carries the tying run, and he can fly. Springer at the plate, and a shot right at Lau. He steps on the bag, throw to first, and a double play. A run will score. The Rays will certainly give up that run to turn 2. The shift was on. Springer hit it on the nose, but right at Brandon Lau, and a 4-3 double play.
Don't even know what to say to this one. Just another bullet right out of Tampa Bay Ray. Lau now has turned double plays in 2 games in this series. First 2 games.
Right on the barrel, but right at Lau. That's as easy as it gets. And now the Astros down to their last out. Altuve the tying run. Astros got a home run from Correa in the 6th. They get one here in the 9th. A long ball here ties it. Altuve homered yesterday in the 1st inning.
Altuve's error in the 1st inning led to the Margot 3-run home run. It's all a wash if he goes deep here.
2 errors today. He's homered in 3 consecutive games this postseason. Last 2 games of the division series against Oakland, then he homered in game 1 yesterday. Big moment. 2 balls, no strikes. Anderson deals. Altuve takes a ball. Able to check his swing. Good block back there by Zunino. This is where all that experience comes into play. These at-bats, these are calm. They've seen it, been in the moments.
Watch for the 3-0 swing right here.
Taking all the way, Anderson misses. He walked him on 4 pitches. And with 2 outs, the Astros put the tying run on. The go-ahead run steps in Michael Brantley. Zunino will take the walk to the mound.
If you want to advance in a series in the postseason, you're going to have to beat the closer at least once.
Astros have their chance. That run that scored on the double play ball off the bat of Springer. First run in the last 3 games for the Rays that hasn't been via the home run. They've given up solo homers. Now Brantley with a shot. Is the stolen base in play in a spot like this? Altuve carries the tying run.
Yeah, but you have to be sure you're going to be safe. I know it's a gamble. I think more of a kind of a dirt ball possibly that goes in front of him to look for.
Here's Brantley. 2 outs, 9th inning. Anderson deals. Brantley takes a ball high.
I don't know. Talking about a hitter who's hit some big home runs already in this postseason. If you do steal the bag, definitely put you in tying run on second base. But then they can go into the full shift on the right side also.
Good point. Got a hole over there on the right side as is. Here's the 1-0. And that missed. 2 balls, no strikes. Anderson a little wobbly here. Bregman due next, hoping for a chance. Astros knocking at the door so often in these first 2 games. Have had very little to show for it. 1 run yesterday. 2 on the board today. Ready for a 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes. 7 consecutive pitches out of the strike zone for Nick Anderson. And that Rays bullpen is quiet.
I know 3-0's a new 2-0, Ron, but if I'm Brantley here, so disciplined, I got to make him throw a strike. 7 in a row.
And you got Bregman on deck. That helps. And Brantley takes ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Brantley is aboard. The bases are loaded now. And Alex Bregman steps in.
Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, has already had his visit. Anderson's on his own.
Getting started with an infield single by Gurriel. Reddick a single on the first pitch. Aledmys Diaz a pinch hit single. 3 hits, 2 walks, a double play. 1 run is in. Now Bregman is up there with the bases loaded and the game on the line. It's been about as good as the Astros have in spots like this. In the most pressure-packed moments. Bregman on the first pitch in the air, right center field. Kiermaier on the run. The Gold Glover is there, and the game is over. The Astros strand the bases loaded in the 9th. Tampa Bay wins 4-2, and the Rays are up 2-0 in this best-of-7 ALCS.
I mean, what a game. McCullers was unbelievable. Morton was great over his 5 innings. Pitchers to get 4 straight wins in the postseason with 1 earned run or less. Masahiro Tanaka, Whitey Ford, and now Charlie Morton.
Charlie Morton in 4 postseason starts for the Rays in the last 2 years. 4 wins. The former Astro, Mike Zunino, hit an add-on home run, a 454-foot blast in the 7th inning. Did a great job behind the plate. And the big home run, Frenchie, was Margot's 3-run blast, capitalizing after the error in the first inning. How about the defense Tampa Bay played here today, partner?
It was everything. I mean.